In this tutorial, we're going to take a look at how you could connect to your smartboard. Okay, so on the wall, here's your display. You can see it's currently off, as well as the volume button, which you can turn up or turn down. Then you can see HDMI, VGA, video, and mute. We'll take a look at that in a little bit. Underneath, you're going to see where your HDMI goes in, as well as the ability to write on the board as well. You have to remember to plug this into your computer. We'll take a look at that in a little bit. Okay, so to turn on your projector, in the next clip I talk about selecting the blue power button on your remote, but you could just come over to the wall, select the on, you could hear the beep. You will then be able to see the projector turn on. It will say Epson, and then you will see your screen. There you could hear the little click. Epson is now turned on. There you have it. Now, you could press the power button again to turn it off, but you could also come over and turn it off. Give a little bit of time and then turn it off again. Okay, so to turn on, we're just going to use your remote. That's pretty much the only thing you're going to need the remote for. Go ahead, you can hear it beep. You'll see it say Epson here in a little bit. Give it just a couple seconds and it will turn on. You can hear that little click there. And there it has connected. Now, make sure your HDMI is connected, and you can see right away that it is working. Sometimes what happens is people may have VGA selected by mistake. You can see it's now not connected. It looks like this. Just make sure HDMI is selected and give it a little bit of time for it to come on up. Okay, so with volume, let's see, right now it's connected through my computer. We want to change that so it goes to the speakers. Well, how can we do that? Okay, so to change it from coming out of your own speakers, what you need to do is come down here and select the audio. And then right in here, you can see where there's a caret. Make sure to select the Extron HDMI. And now it's coming through the speakers. Now to turn it up, obviously, you want to make sure that it's turned up here, so maybe turn up to 100. If it's still not loud enough, take a look over here, and then you can turn it up. And now you can hear it nice and loudly. All right, so here's the screen, and let's just say you're trying to open it up and the touch is not working. First thing to do is come down and make sure the cord that we had earlier, this one right here, goes in. We'll take a look at that here. Okay. So I plugged it in. You hear that sound. We've all grown accustomed to that and heard that. What you can do is you could use your finger if you'd like to. And you can see it's opening up a new tab in Google. You can also use the pen as well and just select right in there. It'll work. Of course, you could select your bookmarks or whatever you'd like as well. Okay, so you can see the PC interactivity is clicked on, as well as right in here. You could turn off touch if you'd like, turn it back on, so on and so forth. You'll see your other options down here as well, so let's take a look at these. If you select home, it's going to come up here. That's going to be important here in a little bit. We're going to go to HDMI just by selecting it, and you'll see the screen come back on. You're also going to have right down in here, you can see, turned off picture and sound. Turn it back on, simply select. It's back. Right in here, you could go ahead and magnify if you'd like. So you can play around with those. You can obviously increase, decrease, and then you can even draw on here, and you can see how large that got. So take a look at that. To remove it, simply come down here. You could, of course, hit the minus, go all the way back, or if you select right in here, you can just go to the number 1, and you're back. So it's a nice way to make it a little bit larger. In here, you can select the camera and you can take a full screen or select an area to take a screenshot of. So as you can see, right in here, here it is. If we want to drag it, we can drag it. We're now going to take a picture. And as it says, the image has been captured and sent to the whiteboard. So where's the whiteboard? Right next to it. So if we select right there, you can now see we have our screen on the right, and then we took a picture right in there. So if I want to move things over, I can go ahead, move this over if I'd like. You can see how large it got. And then of course, right down in here is how I could draw. So if I wanted to, I can just select here and I could just draw an arrow to it, to erase. You could just do an eraser here. You could do a large eraser like that. Okay. If I want to drag it back, just need to put a little pressure here, push down, and drag over. Sorry, it's hard with just one hand here. There we go. So we're back to how we were before. And if I'd like to close out of the whiteboard, simply come down here, select, and say, do you want to delete the current page? Just say yes. So you deleted that. If you want to, you can now even drag this over as well. If you drag it the whole way, it'll be back to the way that it was. Okay, one more feature down here is when we select the three dots, you can see the timer. If we select a timer, you can see right now it's in the count up position. If you want to do the count down, you can set that right there. Just press play. You can see it's going to count down. You could also, right in here, send it down so it comes up down in there, if you'd like. As well as if you select here, it makes it really tiny at the bottom. Make it a little bit larger again. You can see how you can set it for different times if you'd like. So that's the timer. Now, as you can see, I am connected, but what if you don't want to be connected and you want to go into another part of the room and still display what's on your computer? Here's how you can do that. What you'll need to do, obviously, gonna disconnect the HDMI. So that's now disconnected. You can see there's nothing coming through there. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead in and select F8 on my computer because I have an older one. I'm gonna do FN F8. And I'm gonna select connect to a wireless display. Now, the name of this one is right here, this 99S or 76E. You can see it's connecting, and you can see up top it's a connecting to display. So you may not see it right away. So if you don't see it, what do? Pick up your pen, your finger, and select the home button. When you select the home button, you're gonna see screen mirroring. And when you see screen mirroring, go ahead and select it. So now, we're not connected at all. As you can see, it's right over here. Now, one thing to point out, as of right now, is the time making this, it's June 1st, 2022. The audio just goes through your computer, or it could go through the Epson up here. It is not very loud. As of right now, it will not go through to the large speakers. However, what's really nice is you could go ahead and you can turn that off, and then you could go ahead, just like with the others, select right down in there to write on it. You just have to remember to, and you can go ahead and write on there right away. It's also the same way you do it if it was plugged in. To turn on the interactivity, you need to select right there, so you can go ahead and go to different tabs. If we want to erase, like that red dot right there, we need to turn off the interactivity. We need to come down here to the eraser, and then we're going to go ahead and erase. So there you have it. Okay, so you can see I'm still connected. So if I typed in, let's just say ESPN here, you can see ESPN's up there now. At the very top, you can see these options in here where you can go ahead and remove that if you'd like to. Now, to get out of projecting, again, I'm going to do FN F8. You probably just have to do F8. where it says connect to a wireless display, go ahead and disconnect. One thing to allow the mouse, keyboard, touch, and pen, make sure you check that on to allow it to be used for the mouse, keyboard, and touch. So we're now going to disconnect. And there you have it. All right. If you have any questions, please reach out. Thanks for watching. Take care. Bye-bye. Okay. Now it stopped blinking, so to turn it off, we can just go ahead and just turn it off. And you can see it's now been turned off. And you could hear the beep.